Panos might be the key to the Shattered Veil main quest, and I'm going to explain why, and at the end of the video I'll have you thinking this as well. What's up everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, we love zombies and the zombies storyline. Over the last week we've been getting more and more teasers for the DLC 3 map Shattered Veil, and there is a lot to cover, especially with predictions on where the story's going to go and how the main quest is going to play out. If you do in fact like this video, make sure to click the button. It really helps out my channel, and subscribe with notifications turned on so that you can see if the predictions of this video come true with the release of Shattered Veil towards the beginning of April. Also, shout out to Stanley557 for working with me on my first ever YouTube collab. You can find that video in the card on screen right there, or at the end of the video if you're interested. Okay, so before we can really tie Panos into the Shattered Veil, first we need to go over what his significance already is within the game. And Panos is a scientist that's working on dimensional research with Project Janus, Dr. Richtofen's secret project within the CIA, which we learn from his introduction in the Liberty Falls Easter egg main quest right at the start of the map. Panos is then our guide throughout the rest of the quest, having us harness the powers of the Dark Ether so that we may aid him in escaping. While playing the map, you can find intel from Panos that highlights his mistrust in Richtofen. Have a listen.
Dr. Pericles Panos, Project Janus, Energy Research Division. It has become abundantly clear. Director Richtofen is slipping. Thankfully, no one has noticed. As far as they are concerned, the director is fulfilling his duty. Moldy is no different. Anything he receives from her island of horrors might as well be sealed with a kiss. She calls herself a woman of science. But that schoolgirl crush of hers is becoming problematic. No one sees that this entire operation is little Edward's tinderbox. All it requires is one lit match and foam. Whatever Sam is telling him, his patience is waning. The longer her promises remain unfulfilled, the more erratic he becomes. If we fail, it will all be down to Richtofen and his hubris.
At the end of the Liberty Falls egg, we must defeat an onslaught of Dark Ether HVTs that allow Panos to essentially swap places with us, removing himself from the Dark Ether. In his escape and our new imprisonment, he says this.
Now, if you will excuse me, I have a few scores to settle. Bye-bye, Dark Ether.
Panos' mistrust in Richtofen and his need to settle scores only really point us in one direction. He plans to pursue Richtofen himself. Now, in the intro cutscene for Liberty Falls, we see that Richtofen is also plucked into the Dark Ether by Samantha Maxis, similar to what happened to the other scientists within Liberty Falls. We have already seen that Panos knows how to get out of the realm. One of the biggest reasons that I think that he's going to have a part to play in the DLC 3 map is how the narrative has gone for our four characters so far. After learning about the existence of the Sentinel artifact in the Terminus Island end cutscene, our characters head off to Citadelle d'Amour, where they encounter Gabriel Croft, a scientist most relevant in Vanguard zombies, aids our crew in obtaining an amulet and the location of the Sentinel artifact. Our crew all have their own reasons for not liking Richtofen and are after him, presumably to find that they can't get to him while he's stuck within the Dark Ether. After the events of Tomb, our crew has secured the Sentinel artifact and are now ready to find the man himself, but they have no way of pulling someone from the Dark Ether, and this is where Panos comes in. Having his own reasons and score to settle with Eddie, he will likely be the one aiding us in retrieving Richtofen and furthering our story. Now, we definitely don't know this for certain. However, Liberty Falls being so close in proximity to the mansion and his story being left wide open presents a fantastic opportunity for Treyarch to close the loop on Panos and use him as a narrative tool in the Shattered Veil, much like Croft was used as a narrative tool in Citadelle d'Amour. Now, Shattered Veil and the teasers that we have received give us plenty of opportunity to answer several other Dark Ether questions that have arose within the story. We have a painting showcasing a Chaos Priest uniform, the drawing of the Richthofen family, and whether or not Mr. Peaks is looking over Richtofen's son, and of course, what the hell Sam has been up to since the events of the Forsaken. Now, all of this and more to come in just a few weeks with the map's release. If you're as excited as I am to learn where all of these story elements go, leave a comment and let me know what you think. Before you leave, like, subscribe, and check out the interview that I did with Stanley557 regarding the current state of zombies. And if you do none of those things, well, your viewership was much appreciated.